best business ideas from more than 30 entrepreneurs. Now we're down to the final 5. 5 entrepreneurs with an idea, a business plan they'll present today for a chance to win $50,000 in prize money. All they have to do? Impress our judges. 3 of the most successful businessmen in Colorado. Who will walk away with the cash to fund their vision? We'll find out next on the 6th Annual UNC Monfort College of Business Entrepreneurial Challenge.
And welcome, everyone. We are so grateful that you joined us today to meet some incredible entrepreneurs, 5 entrepreneurial teams who, over the next hour, you're going to learn a lot about. These are people, entrepreneurs, who've put it all on the line, their time, their talent, their treasure, to make it with their business and to see if they've got what it takes to win our prize package today. It's their job today to convince our esteemed panel of judges that they have the right stuff to share in a prize package worth $50,000. That's kind of cool, isn't it? And I was just talking with our audience. In some cases, this can be a real game changer and life changer for these entrepreneurs. But the real job is, as I mentioned, to convince these esteemed panel of judges that they've got the right stuff. Let's meet our judges right now. First up, Mr. Brad Florin, who is the senior or serial technology entrepreneur and also a strategic advisor. He has had a lot of businesses in his lifetime. He is a lifelong technologist. Started a software company back in 1992, sold it to EMC in 2005. He has had incredible success and also now focused on private equity investments ever since then, and he counsels a lot of these entrepreneurs, and he knows what it takes. So give him a round of applause. Next up, Mr. Kevin Ahern, founder, chairman, and CEO of CIC Bank Shares, a bank holding company with about $475 million or so in total assets right now, also on the UNC Board of Trustees. So welcome to you, Kevin. Welcome him, please. And finally, Mr. Peter Adams, the executive director of the Rockies Ventures Club. This is an incredible group of people that come together and invest in early-stage venture capital companies, and this is an investment fund that has had great success over the years as well. We're honored to have all of you. Please welcome Peter to our panel of judges. All right, let me introduce you now to our first company that we're going to talk to today. This is one of our first finalists, Luken Technology. They are a Greeley-based firm, and they're putting a lot of smart into smartwatches. Let's take a look.
My name is Murat Erdoğan. We have created Luken Smartwatch for the consumers. A Luken Smartwatch is an elegant, fully functional, standalone smartwatch that helps consumers manage their life activities, habits, and health.
This is a way to take your technology with you without having the burden of carrying along your additional cell phone or something else to complement the watch. It utilizes a lot of the technology that's out there today, but makes it portable for the active lifestyle for individuals like we have in the state of Colorado.
You are able to monitor many things that's important to you, including vital signs, your day-to-day activities, exercise routines. We are also including credit card application, where you can store multiple credit cards in our product and be able to swipe your finger, select whichever one you want to use, and actually be able to pay for your coffee or your goods using our watch.
When you say smartwatch to someone, it means many different things. Some of them think of the typical fitness bands that you see. Others think of them perhaps as a health monitor type functionality. Others think of a companion device for the watch that pairs with their phone. We tried to make sure that we had a watch that spans multiple areas like that and still gives you a very stylish, lightweight, easy to wear, non-intrusive device for the wearer.
All right, let's welcome Murat and Tom to the stage right now. Give them a round of applause. Congratulations to you guys just to get here. Thank you. We should mention the competition is pretty tough just to get to the finalist stage. So how do you feel being here?
It's amazing. Actually, it's an honor to be here, to be able to share our story and what we think is important in our technology. And we really want to improve people's lives, and this is a chance to put that in front of everybody.
Tom, let's talk a little bit with you about how is this going to improve people's lives?
Well, you heard a little bit in the intro there about some of the technologies that we're using. The advantage that we have is making that portable to the user and persistent for the user. So if you think about, for example, health applications and monitoring and things like that, whereas today you may have to have that paired with a phone, in this case you'll be able to have that non-intrusive monitor that can give you trending information during your sleep, during your workout activities, during the course of the day. And we have a portal, a means of keeping that information available to the consumer so that they can monitor, see how they're doing against their different challenges of the day.
Well, it sounds really cool. Murat, it's no secret that this is a pretty crowded space right now. There's a lot of competition, and smartwatches are getting a lot of buzz. How are you going to kind of distinguish yourself among that?
You know, I think you're correct. Everybody in the industry is jumping in. I mean, I haven't seen the industry so excited for a long time. What we're doing a little different, as Tom mentioned, we are actually putting cellular technology in. Most companies that are going in are really creating these as accessories. They want to really improve the use of their cell phones. We want to really look at this differently. If, for example, you're monitoring seizure detection for a 4-year-old or 80-year-old, we don't want to anchor them down with the cell phone. We want to give them the freedom so that if there's an emergency, it automatically detects and sends that out.
So there's a lot of real-world applications, but your job is to answer some tough questions, I think, more tough than I had from our judges. Let's start with you, Brad.
So Murat and Tom, I guess the thing that I'm seeing in the watch market is it looks like it's going to end up like the smartphone market, where you have Apple at the high end, everybody else really competing at the low end on price. It looks, based on your business plan, that you're going to be priced at that high-end price point. So in order to justify that, because you're not Apple, are you bringing some kind of a killer app? Have you found a niche where this just has super high value and you're going to carve out that niche for yourselves?
Yeah, we're actually looking at a lot of applications. Just like you said, when cell phones started, the only time it actually started to take off was when the applications started to really meet the needs of the consumers. It's going to be the same with the smartwatches. We are looking at different things. We are improving the hardware. One of the key questions we get from everybody is the fact that the battery life is important. And that's why we're putting a lot of patent technology. We are adding 3 different batteries. We are embedding batteries into the band so that you'll have 2 to 3x battery life of Apple or any other product. We're also making it very easy to track your activities. As Tom mentioned, we have an online portal that's going to track every sensor that you want to track. And it'll give a very easy to understand way to collaborate and correlate all your activities. So for example, how much did you eat today? How much did you walk? And are you nervous? We're going to correlate those with our software and actually give intelligent recommendations to the users real time without having to reach for your cell phone. It's going to actually nudge you and say, hey, you haven't walked enough, get up and walk. So those are the kind of things we are planning to do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Your written business plan talked about building the company to sell it in 18 months. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's realistic given the current stage of development of the company? And if you believe it is, mm-hmm. if I were an investor, what return over that 18-month period of time do you think I should expect?
Yeah. So I worked for Intel for 10 years. I work with Microsoft. I have a lot of connections. Intel recently bought a company, a very early stage startup company for $100 million. This is an industry that's exploding. And a lot of companies, even Microsoft, when I talk with them, they're trying to find a way to get into the market. What we want to do is in 18 months being acquired by a company like Intel or Microsoft, not necessarily to just move on with our return, it's really to get the resources and the funds that we need to take our technology to the next level.
Well, I'm impressed with how much technology you're fitting into a really small package. And you look at all of the features this does, it's kind of amazing. But there's 2 of you. How many more people are working for the company right now?
We currently are a team of 7 at the moment.
So I'm looking at your development of the platform and then development of your marketing and seeing that you have something just shy of $4 million for your first year of sales. So how are you going to be able to finish the development on all this high-tech stuff, get it into a package, find manufacturing, get those guys in place and producing this watch and then selling $4 million worth of product all in a year? That's just amazing.
We've started to establish the contacts already to move down that path. This is one of our early steps in getting some funding. We'll be moving into a Kickstarter campaign as well, using the funds that we raise between now and when we launch that Kickstarter campaign. We'll be focusing very heavily on social media marketing in advance of that, and continuing on beyond that after we bring the product forward.
Let's give them a round of applause. Tom, Murat, thank you guys. Good job and congratulations. Lucan Technologies. We'll see how they did a little bit later on. After the break, we're going to introduce you to a company who's putting the Vice in your workout, literally. We'll be right back.
Step into our classrooms, like this Colorado burnt forest, where Dr. Scott Franklin and his students research and uncover burning questions. Or like this Colorado prairie, where Dr. Wendy Flynn and her students brainstorm solutions using high-altitude weather instruments. Step into the University of Northern Colorado.
I'm expecting to do great. I'm expecting to let the world know about the Vice.
And welcome back, everybody. All right, our next company is called VicePower.com. Their product is called the Vice. Their mission is to help athletes tighten up and get in shape.
My name is Lavelle Williams. I'm the inventor of the Vice. Vice is a tool that gives athletes leverage to get those thick weight belts tightened up to a proper tightness so that they can perform deadlifts or any lower extremity exercise. Currently, belts are being used, they're just not being properly tightened because the weight belts are so thick that it's almost impossible for you to get it tightened to the proper tightness with your hands. When you're being compressed with weights, especially during the squat, you don't want your spine or anything to bend. You want everything to stay straight, so the belt with the proper tightness is going to keep all of that in alignment. I've been in strength and conditioning for 17 years now. I've seen numerous injuries due to lack of support from the weight belt, and the only way to properly get that belt tightened is by using the Vice. It was something I used when I powerlifted throughout high school and college, and my uncle was the one who made one for me, and I would just give it to my friends. It was a way that we used to get extra leverage on belts to make sure we had them tightened. With my invention of the Vice, it gives the athletes a little extra leverage on those thick weight belts so that we can get those things tightened up in a matter of seconds.
Let's welcome Lavelle to the stage right now. How you doing?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good. You excited to be here?
I'm very excited to be here. Glad to tell these people about the Vice.
Absolutely. There's a lot to this because you have really poured a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this. And what does it mean to have come this far with this product?
Well, it means a lot. You know, it's just the fact that I've put a lot into this and that everybody can see the hard work. It means a lot.
What would you do with the money when you win?
With the money, what I want to do is expand and get more advertisement so that more people would know about the Vice to keep more athletes safe.
Keeping athletes safe, it's a very good mission, and it's important too.
That's the most important thing you want to do. You want to keep these athletes safe. In order to have a good athletic program, you're going to have the athletes safe and on the field.
What do you want the judges to know about your mission and your passion?
I want the judges to know that Vice Power is something that I put my heart and soul behind, and my number one priority behind all of this is to keep athletes safe.
They're going to have some tough questions for you. You ready for that?
I'm ready.
Let's start with Kevin.
Hi, Dinky.
Hi.
I would imagine that a lot of your sales are actually to fitness facilities and gyms as opposed to the individual users. What's your pitch to a large training facility on why they should have the Vice at the gym?
I'm glad you asked that. One of the large industries about the Vice is that if you're training someone and you're inside a facility, or you're responsible for that person. So if that person has an injury to their lower back while you're training them, you're at fault for that injury if you didn't properly protect them. The lawyers are going to come in and they're going to ask, were there collars on the bar? Were there spotters? Was there a belt? And when you say no, that's negligence. One of the things we're trying to do, we're trying to get the legislation changed with NCAA so that anytime you're training collegiate athletes, that you're going to properly have belts on them to keep them safe.
Dinky, if I were to invest $100,000 in this business, about how long would it take before I got my money back, and what kind of returns might I expect?
If you invested $100,000 into the Vice, we would probably have that money back to you within 18 months. Because with $100,000, you're going to be able to reach a larger audience. Right now, everybody's seeing someone else with it and they want it. There's a few universities that has it. Other people are seeing universities with it, now they want it. Other people are seeing people with it at gyms and they want it. With $100,000, you can make a large advertising net. You can cast it out wide and you get more people involved in it. So I would say about 16 to 18 months.
I really like the concept you've got here, and I love it when an entrepreneur has a firsthand experience that drives them to innovate, like you've done here, and then really build a company around that innovation. So it's very impressive. Although, as Peter said, looking at a return on investment for an investor, I'm not sure there's a big enough market based on just the one product to really get you to a scale where you're attractive to an acquirer. So have you thought about other products that would help you scale a larger fitness company?
Yes, we have other products because the Vice is a brand. We have a TheraBand that we use to put across helmets to obstruct the vision of Pee Wee or Pop Warner athletes in football. So the band obstructs their vision and makes them keep their heads up. So we use that for tackling drills. The number one thing in that, we want to keep them safe, keep their heads up so they can see what they hit. We have another device called the kettle shell. The kettle shell turns dumbbells into kettlebells. We have another device called the bench blocks. Bench blocks help save those shoulders when you guys are bench pressing. Guys and girls are bench pressing. It's going to keep those shoulders in shape for a long time before they can use the full range of motion.
Great, thank you.
Dinky, the large manufacturers of belts in the marketplace, what's the risk that one of those manufacturers could knock off your product and build it right into the belt?
Well, the thing is, you have a belt called the lever belt, and that belt has an automatic lock in it. The problem with that is that in order to loosen it or tighten it up some more, you have to unscrew it, move it over, screw it back in. Sometimes you can't get that belt in both those holes to lock it. Sometimes, I've not seen this personally, that when they're squatting, your belly is going to push up against that front part of that belt. Those things pop open sometimes. It gives the athlete no control when they're down at the bottom, the heaviest part of those lifts. So sometimes those belts, that built-in contraptions, sometimes they break.
So I have to say, you are the perfect spokesperson for this product.
Thank you.
You are just perfect for this. But of course, the number one thing that investors are looking for to carry out the plans that you've provided to us is the team. So could you talk about what your plans are for the team that's going to carry out everything that you've got set up?
The team that's going to carry out everything that we set up are people that's already on board with what we have in order to create the brand. The first part about it, we're going to get the Vice out there to people. The Vice is what's going to start everything up, and it's going to get us moving on with the blind side. It's going to get us moved on with the kettle shell, and it's going to get us to move on with the bench blocks. So we're starting a brand. The people that's on board now will be the ones that's going to help move it forward.
Well, Bill, good job. Give him a round of applause. Congratulations to you. We've got another company to tell you about coming up after the break, Game-Centric. They're taking video games into the workplace with a mission to boost the bottom line. That's up next.
When I was thinking about coming to MCB, I was a little scared, but when I left, I felt good about myself and I felt really well prepared for the workplace.
The school, I think, is an optimum size. Big enough to have a lot of opportunities, small enough to get genuinely involved.
The one building on this campus for all of our students to study in gives them an opportunity to really interact in a variety of ways.
Campus life is the absolute best. It's just so much energy and fun people, and our campus is gorgeous.
The students know one another. I mean, you see them in the hall, they're going out to lunch together. It's not I come to campus and then I go back, or I'm in a building with thousands of people that I don't know.
I was surprisingly shocked at the dining hall. Actually, it was unbelievable. I mean, the food was really good.
The atmosphere within the community on just your floor that you live on is great. You get to know everybody on the floor.
If you go inside MCB, I don't know, it just seems like it's a cut above. Not to be cocky or anything about it, but I do think that it's kind of a class of its own.
The classrooms are the perfect size.
Our average class size runs around 30 students. The faculty-student connection is extremely important.
Our graduate successes are our successes, and our reputation rides on what they accomplish.
I know that all of my faculty are putting in a good word for me. They're talking to the recruiters saying, hey, look out for Kara. And so I know that they're fully vested in helping me to get a job and that I'll be able to maintain contact with them.
I don't know of any other students who've come from other schools to our firm who have that kind of a relationship with their professors.
You know, I really got to know them. They got to know me when I was going through good times, bad times. They've become almost like a family. I spent more time with the faculty and at the College of Business than I did at my sorority house with my friends.
Our new dean has insisted that we need to have a professional experience component for all graduating students from MCB. It really gives a professional slant to the discipline. So I think it's great that we are able to do that.
We do have a significant number of students that study abroad, but this is one of those experiences that really can help to set them apart.
We have a senior level finance class called the Student Managed Investment Fund, and they manage a real dollar portfolio. $1.2 million is where it's at now.
Our investment class was competing in an international competition, and they took first place in the undergraduate competition.
Monfort College of Business as a Malcolm Baldrige Award recipient.
After I graduated from MCB, I felt really confident in myself, in my skills. I've had lots of advice from professors about how to network, how to connect with people, and they really try to integrate you into the networking and the professional environment outside of school.
Students are so well prepared. We've hired at least one student, one graduate a year for the last 8 years, and it's just a joy to have so many of them working with us.
The opportunity is immense.
You're pushed to another level.
They're gonna throw everything at you, but if you can weather the storm, the knowledge that you gain is it's priceless.
I get some good questions and some great publicity.
All right, welcome back. We're a little over halfway through right now of this entrepreneurial challenge where we are introducing you to some incredible entrepreneurs who are competing for $50,000 in prize money and their share of it. That's pretty cool stuff, and I think it's going to be very difficult for our judges to pick the final winner. Would you guys agree? Well, I want to ask you a question. How often at work do you get asked to do a little video gaming? It's usually not considered a good thing at work, right? Well, GameCentrix plans to change that attitude and prove to companies that having fun at work is also good for the bottom line.
My name's Sahanjay Sumana, founder of GameCentrix. GameCentrix is a platform that increases productivity at fulfillment centers and assembly lines by incorporating gaming elements from popular video games. Warehouse managers use software right now to track their employees, and they store that in a database. Our program reads that information as it's being captured and sends it to a cloud where we process it into a game. So this shows you where you are, where you should be, and the end of the day goal.
We believe that by using team-based competition, we can make organizations be more productive. Companies are losing millions of dollars every year in productivity losses. 76% of employees are considered to be disengaged that are working in the manufacturing industry, and this costs companies $169 million in productivity losses every year. So our product integrates with existing software and warehouse data streams to create a game that employees are playing while they're working. Our games are designed to create competition that incentivizes employees to work productively and consistently and hit their goals on a consistent basis.
Our product saves companies money, motivates their employees, increases productivity, and it seamlessly integrates with their existing software.
Wow. Let's welcome Sahan, one of the founders and creators of this product. How did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, I was actually an intern at Staples, and I was invited to tour the fulfillment center, and I asked the manager, how do you track your employees and keep them motivated? And he essentially told me the cycle where he tracks them, queries the database, evaluates them, and then sighs in frustration when he doesn't hit his productivity numbers.
I get that piece of it, but then to kind of marry it up with gaming, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, so I'm a video gamer. back in the day. I've played a lot, and I was playing World of Warcraft, and I realized I was going back, picking up this herb, delivering it to somebody else, and that's basically what fulfillment center workers are doing all day. They're picking up a pencil, delivering it somewhere else, or picking up a pipe and doing the same thing. So, you know, the two pieces just clicked into place.
Well, it looks fun. I guess, have you been testing it out at all or gotten any reaction?
Yeah, so we're currently in a development partner, Waba Fun. They make kinetic sand and other toy products, so they're a great development partner for us, and their feedback has been great. Some of the features that we actually showed you were things they wanted added to the app. So right now we're just making the manager interfaces a little cleaner, making the games a little easier to play, a little seamlessly integrated with the fulfillment center.
I get it. How long have you been working on this product?
Yeah, so this started as a class project about a year ago, and it's ballooned since then. So the class project was completely text-based. There was no pictures or anything. Sure. And then now it has graphics. We have it connected to the cloud. It's in a fulfillment center. It's been great.
Is it going to be tough, do you think, to kind of get over the hurdle of perhaps some companies who are like, gaming in my business? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's interesting because gamification has been used in the past. Iconic leaders like Charles M. Schwab of Bethlehem Steel have used it to motivate their steel heat production since the early 19th century. And really, we think managers are looking for a way to easily integrate games into their system. And honestly, if a manager isn't interested in us right now, once we start showing our productivity gains, they will be.
Let's see what the judges think. Peter, we'll begin with you.
Okay, well, I think this looks like a great product, and I can see how it really increased productivity. My question for you is about marketing. So I applaud the way you've worked up these relationships with SAP and NetSuite and all these companies that you'll be working with. You'll be integrating in with them, but they won't be selling your product. You really need to be doing that yourself. And I see you've got 2.5 million projected in second-year sales, that's a pretty significant amount of sales. So what's your go-to-market strategy to take these to customers?
So our go-to-market strategy is primarily through enterprise marketplaces. And we think that hitting our sales goal of 2,000 customers within 5 years is very easy from this, because you see companies like Better Cloud, who just by pursuing an enterprise marketplace strategy, were able to get 50,000 downloads in 2 years from enterprise makers. In addition to that, we have 5% sales commission baked into the money we're asking for. So we think we can either bring the right staff on or even incentivize people who are NetSuite salesmen to pitch our product when they're either trying to get a customer into NetSuite or a customer saying, we have this issue, what tools does NetSuite have to address it?
So you have some great computer science background, finance and business background, but not so much marketing in your team. Is that one of the first things you might add to bring on some marketing and sales staff?
Yeah, so we started as a student company and we're just growing. Right now we really want to get a product that's proven that we know people want, and as soon as we're ready to grow, we're going to bring on the right sales and marketing people to make it happen.
So I understand your approach here to make, let's call them tedious jobs, less tedious. But it seems to me there's a broader capability here where really I think the younger workforce, 18 to 30, isn't really interested in working the same way their parents did, like we did. And have you really looked beyond the warehouse? Say, for example, I think of spaces like software development or accounting work. You might have a much broader market.
Definitely. I think the reason we chose to go with warehouses right now is we can just give so much bang for your buck for a menial work. But our software platform is flexible enough that we can see ourselves in restaurants, even volunteer organizations for like political campaigns or organizing campaigns. In addition to that, the actual core idea that I had way back when at Staples was to use games to motivate a software scrum meeting. So our whole platform is about making it easy for managers to use races and power plays when they're already tracking their employee. So as long as they're collecting that data, they can use our product.
I think you've really come up with a great idea and a great market niche. You've asked for $500,000. What percentage of the company would I as an investor get for that $500,000?
That is a great question. So right now we're actually...
That's what I'm asking.
That is. Right now we're hoping to raise enough money through student competitions and business plan competitions that we don't have to give up too much equity when the time comes. And the reason for that is we're a student-run venture. When the time comes, though, we're ready to offer a substantial amount of the company so that we can get the right partner to help us grow into $1 million or $100 million business, really.
Thank you.
100 million, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Congratulations, Sahan. Give him a round of applause. Thank you. Great job. We have another company coming up. This one is actually focused on helping doctors, patients, and trainers. All of them work together so the patient recovers a lot faster. That's after the break.
The MBA program at the University of Northern Colorado is a new program. We're excited with the chance that we can take our stamp of success on the undergraduate program and translate that into our master's program.
Our MBA program is going to be designed for professionals. We're going to be in person, very flexible, mainly at night for those working professionals who are looking to enhance their professional careers.
This is an opportunity that a lot of people have been waiting for. It's going to be a great moment for the Monfort College of Business to give back the knowledge to the local community, especially to professionals who work around Greeley that don't have an opportunity to go to school in other places.
The MCB program at Centera is just geographically more attractive for the type of students that we believe will be able to take advantage of this program.
When we were designing the MBA program, we first of all thought about having it on campus. And then we realized we had a wonderful opportunity to use the facilities here at Centera. It is centrally located within Weld County and Larimer County. There's over 500,000 people.
The corridor right here on 34 and I-25 is a place that's very convenient and allows students and working professionals to be able to come to us with easy access.
The Monfort College of Business has a very deep sense of collegiality.
The professors there are all very involved. They are up, they're relevant, they're current.
We want to formulate a culture and a reputation within the program that everything we're doing is about application to what they can use in their own professional settings. For me, it's a facilitation of here's what I've seen, here's what I know the research says, what do you think, and what's your reaction based on your experience as a student? And then we jump in and have great, deep conversations to bring the learning alive.
I always tell people I'm one of the luckiest people to have the job that I have, because I get paid to learn. I get paid to research. I get paid to bring that knowledge back into the classroom. I enjoy teaching graduate students because they challenge you. And they realize that they're not just going to take a pat answer. They're going to try to figure out why you said what you did. You're going to find the people that teaching these classes are going to be engaged, and they want to be here. They want to be teaching at the graduate level.
Every single faculty we have in College of Business, they really care for the success of the students, and they keep contact with them even after they graduate.
An MBA is going to further your career. I think it'll fast track your career.
Getting an accredited MBA from an AACSB school is really worth something.
There is no question that getting a master's program has advanced my income potential and my potential for hiring. It's a good investment for 2 years or 2.5 years, and the return on investment is tremendous.
Just a good experience. I love getting exposure for my company, and I can't wait to tell everybody about my new product.
All right, welcome back. Our next company that we want to introduce to you is called QB Labs. Now, they work with doctors, trainers, all sorts of different physicians, as well as the patients to streamline that patient care.
I'm Jennifer Maskery, founder and CEO of QB Labs. QB stands for Quantitative Bioanalytics. In other words, we make wearable tech for physical therapy and sports rehab. Our product is called Movement Tech. It's a set of sensors that captures spatial orientation and movement data in real time, funneling that into an iPod, iPhone, or iPad. This is a big deal because wearable tech right now doesn't provide actionable data. Most wearable tech just measures steps and heart rate. We want to get real data equivalent to what's found in instrumented gait analysis. The state of the art right now is found in facilities like this, the Children's Hospital Colorado. We're trying to put this 13-camera motion capture system into sets of small sensors like this. And we're going to capture the data through an accelerometer, gyroscope, and magnetometer, all on small, easy-to-use, easy-to-wear sensors. Our sensors capture 9 axes of data, and they funnel it for easy evaluation for later patient interaction. Our goal is to take instrumented gait analysis to the next century. We want to make this affordable, accessible, and actionable for physical therapists and sports medicine clinics across the country. Our goal is a world filled with active adults unhindered by physical limitations due to age, illness, or injury. And products like Movement Tech will make that come to life.
Jennifer, welcome to you. That's quite the mission.
Isn't it? We have a very grand vision.
Tell me what motivated you to kind of come up with this and start.
Well, I'm a competitive athlete myself, and I also a baby boomer. So I have frequent minor injuries due to overtraining. And every time I'm in physical therapy, I'm surprised that it's not modernized yet. And there's no quantification of the actions and the data. So my technical team just came up with this way to make motion capture labs handleable, mobile in a tiny unit.
You've been testing this, it sounds like, at Children's Hospital, is that
They're
correct?
our development partner, yes.
So talk about the impact it's having on patients there and perhaps other patients in the future.
It's very huge impact. We're so excited about this because their mission is to try to treat as many patients as possible, but there's only 8 certified motion capture labs in the US. So we're trying to get our sensor to be equivalent and mobile and in every physical therapy clinic in the country.
So taking all those cameras, those big hunky cameras, and I've been in a lab like that before, I know how challenging it must be to get it down and shrink it. You've got the technology ready to go.
Well, we have these sets of sensors. The deal is they have fixed cameras, so the patients have to walk on a runway, and it's not a natural activity. We're trying to get it into everyday activities and a wider range of motion.
Got it.
And by wearing, for instance, 3 sensors on each leg, we can get much more data and bring it to patients across the country.
Fascinating. Let's turn it over to the judges. Brad, we'll begin with you.
Jennifer, this is really an impressive invention to take, as you said, where you have 8 labs. If I live in Kansas, I probably have to drive a long way to get to one of these things. So I really like what you're doing here in terms of something that can go national and international even to bring that treatment more local, which reduces healthcare costs. I really like that. But my question is, as an investor, I see in 5 years you're expecting you would hit 20,000 units per year of sales. And it seems to me there's maybe a bigger opportunity. How would you go, I'm asking you, is there a move into a consumer type application that would really drive your unit and your revenue substantially higher, where the return to an investor would be much better?
Absolutely. We are starting with this perfecting the hardware development and getting really solid data into the hands of therapists. But then, as you know, we're expanding into sports medicine, elite athletes, high schools, hospital monitoring. But yes, this is all business to business, B2B to start with for the first few years. But our future path, we would really like to partner with somebody like Under Armour or some sports medicine company that does want to take it to the consumers. We would gladly work out a licensing deal and expand our market exponentially that way.
Great, thank you.
Jennifer, I'd take my hat off to you. I think it's a great idea in a great space, and you've identified a really interesting niche. So I'm going to get to the bottom line. If I were interested in investing, would I be investing in QB Labs or its holding company, Global Tech Labs?
You would be investing in the subsidiary QB Labs. We created that to package it, to make it more desirable for acquisition. And the other reason we are maintaining Global Tech Labs, my parent company, separately, which I also founded and own most of, is that Global Tech Labs owns this very unique Apple MFI license. And MFI stands for Made for iPod, iPhone, and iPad. And that gives us the authority to use proprietary components like lightning connectors and that gives us also the Apple stamp of high quality and approval. So that license is extremely valuable to us, and we would keep that and help us use all that expertise over the past few years to create a quality product quickly.
Jennifer, great concept, and it's really neat to see you putting this out into the market.
Thank you.
So, the question investors always want to know is how big is this market? So you've noted that the physical therapy market is $26.6 billion, so that's huge. And now you're doing the B2B segment with these professionals. And as Brad mentioned, you'll have 20,000 units that you're selling in year 5. What percentage of these therapists will you have reached when you hit that year 5?
We really are at the early stages of our pro forma and our projections. So the 20,000 is our best estimate. We know that there are 10,000 physical therapy clinics in the US alone, and we're going way beyond that. We're not just doing physical therapy. By year 5, we want to be in sports medicine, elite athletes, and hospitals for patient monitoring. So 20,000 was a small chunk, and it was the best estimate we could get at this time.
So that 20,000 includes not just the therapists, but some of those other markets as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good.
Great
Thank
job.
you.
Jennifer,
Thank
congratulations to you, QB Labs. Best of luck here.
Thank you.
We have one more company to introduce to you. This company is changing the way bike helmets are made. We'll introduce you to them coming up in just a second.
The Masters in Accounting program is a program that was put in place to help us with providing the students the extra credits that they need to sit for their CPA exam.
The Master of Accountancy is for people who are looking to take their academic success beyond bachelor's and just learn more about accountancy in particular.
I changed my major when I was a sophomore to accounting, so I felt really far behind, a little stressed, and it turns out I actually finished the whole master's program in 4 years. It really has proved beneficial for the CPA exam. I've been studying for that all summer, and it is amazing how much I've been able to recall from my classroom lectures and professors and apply it to the CPA exam.
All of our undergraduate accounting majors that plan on becoming a CPA will flow right into that master's program.
The best part of the whole program to me was the fact that I was allowed to be an undergrad one semester and also concurrently taking the graduate courses. So I was doing both in one semester, and I was able to knock out the whole master's within the year.
I stayed at MCB to do the Master of Accountancy program because I knew it would be a really intimate environment, and I wanted that focus in graduate study because I don't want to go to a university where I'm just a number.
The small classroom size and just the relationships I was able to build here particularly are better than any other college that I could have chosen in Colorado.
I think the main emphasis of our MAC program, and one of the distinctive factors, is that we really try hard to incorporate an internship.
Whether or not you want to go into public practice or you'd like to work for a large corporation or if you'd like to work for a small corporation, there are a tremendous amount of opportunities for the accounting students coming out of the Monfort College of Business.
Since we've created the Masters in Accounting program, several accounting firms, both in the state and from outside the state, have come and onto this campus now to recruit our students that weren't recruiting them before. But in addition, many of the accounting firms in the state of Colorado have our alums, and those alums are very excited about seeing the Masters in Accounting program and seeing the students that are coming through it.
The graduate program really gives students more opportunities, allows them to compete for jobs all over the country.
We've gotten more recruiters than we've ever had before. We are recruited by the major Big Four accounting firms in accounting. We haven't had any trouble placing our students, and all of them have gotten jobs.
Getting the master's degree has made me a marketable candidate to a ton of firms and private industry companies.
Even though I've just started the Master of Accountancy, I already have a job offer from a public accounting firm in Denver.
We have a great core of students. We do a great job of educating them and then placing them into real professional career jobs.
I feel great.
A lot of fun and breaking stuff.
Welcome back. We are going to introduce you now to our final finalist, which is kind of exciting because this company is called Change Composites. They just made this thing this morning. It's not the ultra finished product, but their goal here is to take this to extreme sports and help the athletes stay safe.
My name is Nate, and I invented the Umbo helmet. So the Umbo helmet is a helmet that reduces your chances of traumatic brain injuries. Current state of helmets is the force that is transmitted to the outside. A lot of that is transmitted to your head and your skull, which means you have an increased risk of traumatic brain injury, so your brain hitting the inside of your skull. What our helmet does is it disperses that force over a larger surface area. That slows down your head in a more controlled fashion. This is traditional bike helmet configuration, like I said, styrofoam and polycarbonate. And as you can see, the top of it just crushed right in, not absorbing a lot of the force. With the tough composite material, we'll take more than one hit. As you can see, the helmet is still holding up structurally. Traditional helmets, you know, like I said, they're pitching to the test. They're made to go, you know, to compress at one rate, and that's really where their shortfall is. Our goal is to keep the impact on the outside and not on the inside.
All right, let's hear it for Nate. Wow. That's a pretty dramatic demonstration of how this product works. And it works.
It does.
Did you bring the hammer for me?
We did not bring the hammer for you today.
But this is an exciting product because traumatic brain injury getting a lot of headlines and attention right now. Is this just for cyclists?
So right now we're starting with the cyclists because I've been a mountain biker my whole life. Then we're moving on to other extreme sports and then other sports protection industries after that.
This technology, this is a prototype, by the way. It's not
Yes.
the finished product, so it would be finished off nicely, just like a regular commercial helmet. But
Correct.
where did you get the technology or come up with it?
So, you know, just playing around with a lot of composites in my garage in different combinations, and then I found one that was really tough and could handle impacts like that. So we ran it over with a car early on, and that was quite impressive.
Did it hold up all right?
It held up fine.
What's the reaction been to people who have seen this? Have you showed it to anybody in the industry?
So I've started to show people in the industry. We're kind of keeping quiet as we're Skunk Works. You know, after we introduce it, then we're gonna push the technology further.
To start this in your garage, and how long ago was that you started working on this?
That was a year ago.
A year ago.
Yes.
To right here competing
Yes.
for the share of 50 grand.
Yes.
Kind of exciting.
Absolutely.
All right, you ready to talk to the judges?
I am.
Let's do. Let's Kevin, begin with you.
I think you've got a great idea, and I can see the broad appeal of this product. In your written plan, you talked about exiting the cycling space and then moving on to other areas.
That is correct.
So I would imagine that would be through a sale of the company. How would you move to other areas? I would imagine that sale would involve any trademarks or patents that you'd have at the company. And why not just go exploit those areas before a sale?
So we're exploiting the helmet industry as a whole, saturating the market, and then planning on sales. And I believe that our technology can move further, you know, to other protections. You look at military protections. We have applications there. Ballistic testings. We've already started to do some small ballistic testings. So we are going to exploit the helmet industry, but then I think our broad focus is to protect people in a whole.
So as an active cyclist myself, I have to say I would buy this thing, and I hope it's on the shelves next time I'm out in the market. My question is about the bike store owner. So these are going to retail for $250-ish, and the wholesale price to them would be about $175, as I understand from your plan. And I did a little bit of homework from the National Association of Bike Dealers, and they say that equipment sales in bike shops should be about 48.1%. So it looks like maybe your margin might be a little shy for what they need to run a bike store. How do you respond to that?
So, you know, the margins might be a little bit different than what's the current norm, but we look at pushing. We're looking at a few select stores right now and pushing the product through those stores. So what they would make up is a larger clientele. We would drive business to their stores in exchange for those lower margins on it.
I really like what you're doing here, and I would like Peter, love to wear one of these myself, yes. And would like to have my kids in them when they're biking or snowboarding, because it looks like a major difference in what's going to happen when something bad comes along. But my question is really about, if I understood your technology correctly, you're using a third-party composite to put into this helmet. What's your strategy to prevent a large competitor, once they see you kind of get started and get off the ground? How do you prevent them from just coming in and taking over the market?
So we actually have 2 patents filed right now on the shell itself. And then the internal padding, we're working with these manufacturers to create a solution specific to this industry. And then once we do that, we're looking at exclusivity in that technology itself to keep competitors out.
What would the weight of your finished helmet be relative to a Bell helmet out there today?
So we're looking competitively, difference maybe plus or minus 2 ounces in either direction. So not a huge difference in weight. Because we are using composites, they are fairly light.
So I assume you're going to grow fairly quickly. How will you manufacture with this sort of specific composite to keep up with the demand?
So we've solicited 2 different manufacturers, both in the U.S., and then we have also talked about scaling opportunities in China as well. But for now, we're looking at keeping in the U.S. Unless a huge scaling opportunity presents itself, and then we would move to that plan B.
Good job. Let's hear it. Change composites. Thank you so much. Very good. Judges, you ready? Your work will begin here in just a moment. We're going to send you off to do your final deliberations because that was our final company. After the break, we're going to find out who our winner is this year. We'll be right back.
All right. Thank you so much.
Step into our classrooms, like this Colorado burnt forest, where Dr. Scott Franklin and his students research and uncover burning questions. Or like this Colorado prairie, where Dr. Wendy Flynn and her students brainstorm solutions using high-altitude weather instruments. Step into the University of Northern Colorado.
I agree. I think the real challenge is they've got to find a particular application where they, for some reason, Apple can't handle it, Samsung can't handle it, but their watch without the phone being required creates that differentiation.
A lot of enthusiasm and really speaks well for the product. I was concerned about just how big this thing is going to be. I think the big risk here is how they're going to sell this. And this idea of going into the marketplace is a passive sales process.
Or she could have spoken specifically about the cost to go into one of these labs and have a gait analysis done, and if that's $20,000, I don't know what it is.
I just don't know if this is a market leader today or whether there's some economics around why a similar product isn't already being sold.
Welcome back. All right, this is time to announce the winner. You ready? Not yet. We got to talk to the winner from last year. Let me introduce you to Grizz Deal of 9 Power. Good to see you again, my friend.
Hi, Greg. How's it going?
And congratulations. You were the grand prize winner last year, $25,000. What did that mean to you and your company?
Well, the Monfort E-Challenge was really important to us for 3 reasons. First of all, it helped us think about kind of the process of getting ready to seek out capital investment, and it really got us ready for that. The second thing is it put us in a great position in order to go raise additional capital from the venture capital and private investor community. But the third thing is that prize money actually acted as a real power multiplier and allowed us to finish our demonstration unit and get to manufacturing and actually introduce our product.
Your company specializes in water treatment in the oil and gas industry. It's no secret that has taken a hit lately. How are you feeling about the future?
Well, it's interesting. The oil does not stop flowing just because drilling slows down. So actually, companies are faced with even harder pressures on profitability. They're looking for ways to solve these existing problems, and we're part of that solution.
Congratulations again, Grizz. I'm glad things are going well for you. Give it up for Grizz. 9 Power, our winner from last year. Now it's time to tell you our winners for 2015. And our third place winner for this year's E-Challenge goes to Change Composite, and the winner of $10,000. Congratulations to you, my friend. Great job. Stay right there. Our second place winner this year, and the winner and recipient of $15,000, Game Centrics. Congratulations to you. And our grand prize winner, $25,000. It is QB Labs. Jennifer, congratulations to you.
So thrilled.
Yes. Are you excited?
I'm thrilled.
Clearly.
I can't wait to get started and use that money right away. I know exactly what I'm going to do with it.
What are you going to do with it? You're not going to Disneyland, I'm guessing, right?
Well, I would like to go to Disneyland, but first we're going to finish our prototype development and we're do some IP protection and get right on with marketing.
You heard my quick interview with Grizz about what he did with the money from last year, but it's more than just the money. It is also the relationships you've made with these other entrepreneurs, our judges, and a lot of experience, I'm guessing.
It's the experience. I'm thrilled to be part of this entrepreneurial community. I had no idea how passionate everybody was with their own products, and I wish everybody luck.
Absolutely. So what's the future hold for you?
Well, this is a very big first step. So from this, I hope we can gain more credibility in the private investor community and really push hard to get the money we need to launch quickly.
We'll look forward to seeing you back here next year.
So
Give it up for QB Labs. Jennifer, congratulations. Let's talk to our judges real quickly here and just get some reaction and perhaps any advice for QB Labs. We'll begin with you, Brad.
Oh, I think it's a fantastic business model. I think as you, in market you're after, I think what would help you as you pitch private investors would be maybe to talk about what the cost of doing a gait analysis in one of those 8 centers that exist versus what you can get it down to in a physical therapy kind of office. Because really that's what we're all after these days is, healthcare is crazy expensive. We want to cut the cost and deliver it to everybody. And I think, solutions like yours will help us do that.
Very good. Kevin.
Thank you.
Great business plan. I think you've got a bright future. My advice would use advisors where you can. Every Friday night, look at your business plan, make sure you're on track, and know your valuation and defend it when you go out and talk to investors.
And last word from Peter.
So I thought this was a great presentation, and you have so much, and I wish all entrepreneurs in Colorado would do the amount of homework that QB Labs has done, but you were able to take it all and present it simply and make a clear story, and that was awesome.
Thank you, judges. Please give them a round of applause as well. We could not do this without you. Congratulations to all of our finalists. You really are all winners here, and we wish you all the best too. Monfort College of Business, thank you. This entrepreneurial challenge has been a lot of fun this year, and I think it's been very difficult to pick just one winner. We thank you for watching, and we want to invite you to check out their website at mcbechallenge.com. If perhaps you've got a dream you want to pursue, we'll see you here next year perhaps. Thank you for watching.